Welcome back, everybody, to another Dokkan Digest, where I take all the news, drama, and fun from the community, and I bring it over here to you guys on YouTube. Yesterday on stream, me and Minatos Flash had a heated debate about Super Easy A's, and while I'm not going to spoil anything in the video, I do want to say that I do not hate them. I think Super Easy A's are a great thing for the game. But with that said, there's a lot of things that I have problems with, so let's get right to it. Super Easy A is officially out in game. How do you guys feel about it so far? Do you think it's like a little underwhelming? Did you expect more from it?
I honestly was a little I was a little scared when they're like, "Oh, we're gonna Easy A, but then we're not going to do anything with the super attack effects." I'm like, that's kind of scary, you know, because a lot of like, look at these old characters. Super Saiyan 3 Goku with this guy, like what he like great lures defense or something, like, you know. Yeah. Like legendary Super Saiyan Broly, the STR one, he like raises attack. Yeah. Like Ultimate Gohan like raises attack for the turn, and it's like, well, where's the defense, man? Like, what are these guys gonna be doing? Yeah. But they definitely clearly made it up for in terms of the passive skill. Do I still think it's dumb that they didn't update the super attack effects? Yes, I think it's really silly, and I don't see the point in not doing it. Yeah, if they're just gonna make the character like really strong regardless, and the only reason why they didn't do it is I guess they're just thinking about, I don't know, like a Blue Cow Kid and Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta, like their Super Easy A will happen in like 4 years or something. And it's like when they Super Easy, what are they gonna do? Like, yeah, what generally they wouldn't do anything. So I see why they don't want to update super attack effects, but like they could just be like, okay, we're gonna update them for these first few characters, but in the future they're not always guaranteed to be updated. But yeah, that's my take. Besides that, I think they're still really good, and I think that Super Saiyan 3 Goku so far seems like he cooks, but I can't really say for sure how good like this is gonna be until I want at least like 5 Super Easy A's out. Yeah, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, then you'll see me like if it sucks, I'll make a video Super Easy A's were a mistake or something.
Well, I was thinking like, because Halbert keeps bringing this up, you know, they're trying to work on other ways to update Super Easy A's or make these new older characters better. And apparently, you know, I don't think it was really said like that, but hopefully it is going to be the case that they might just update them somehow in the future, because they said they wanted it to be more of a long-term thing, right? They wanted the Easy A's to be more long-term. Yeah, they did.
So no, you guys are children. Oh my goodness!
Read what they meant by that.
Minato.
No, what they said is they are trying to make. Okay, I'm sorry. They're trying to make these characters more long term, right? Which is what you're correct in saying that, but not just through Super Easy A's or Easy A's. Super Easy A is to make them relevant right now. But in the future, they're going to be implementing future ways for these characters to be usable. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to re-easy them again or update their passives. It could be maybe equips. You know, it could be through special events. You know, Chain Battle was a mode in the past that allowed you to use these very old characters even if they weren't relevant at all in difficult contents.
Would you be happy with something like that, though? Like, would you be happy if, like, oh, we're going to make these characters usable, and then they just drop, like, a Chain Battle 2.0 where it's like, okay, I mean, they're useless everywhere else, but, you know, at least they're usable in this event. Like, are we happy with that as players, or do we want more from these Super Easy A's?
I mean, I think it's fine, because, I mean, they made Super Saiyan 3 Goku, like, I mean, he's like top 5 GUR level, pretty much, right? You know? So I'm not really, if they continue to make them that level of strength, then I'm like, sure, you know, I won't necessarily mind it. And there's gonna be a point where they're like not gonna keep repeating the same process over and over again, right? With Easy A, Super Easy A, Extreme, you know, like what are they gonna do, you know? So I don't mind that eventually these characters are gonna be good in like some new game mode or in different ways. It could even be a thing where people want to like this, but like, you know, a new difficult stage comes out, but the older the character is, like the stronger that they are. You know how
that could be interesting. Yeah,
like we saw something like that during the Cooler Worldwide Celebration, where we saw, you know, those free-to-play like or summonable Cooler movie units got additional boosts. And if it's like just like every character ever or something, sure, maybe they bring out events like that Cooler event one where it's like we get like a Boo Saga celebration, and then we get like a fight against a Majin Buu, and then again Majin Buu Saga characters all get a huge boost, and then it makes those like older characters more relevant, right?
Right.
Um, so
Okay.
I think there are definitely ways to make these characters relevant still in the game without having to make it like, oh, they have to be good in the most difficult content. Especially if that new type of content gives like really good rewards, then people that'll be good. And at the end of the day, like people with these old units, I think it's nice to have a use for them at all because it's
Oh, I agree.
unrealistic to expect them to be updating these characters, like going back and updating them again or something like that, right?
Right.
Especially in a PvE game.
Mhm.
Maybe if it was PvP, maybe, but
Well,
that's my
I mean, so Super Easy 8 itself is just like one stage that you do multiple different times, right? Like if they wanted to kind of make them, if they wanted to fit these older characters into the meta somehow, like later on down in the game, like 4 years from now or something like that. Let's say Super Saiyan 3 Goku gets a Super Easy 8 2, right? Like, I mean, it is just one stage right now. Maybe they add extra stages to it in the future. I don't see that happening. Like, I do kind of agree with you in the sense that they want the characters to be usable in the future, but maybe not like usable in the meta. Uh, Otherwise, I mean, nobody's gonna summer for new characters, right? But I'm a little
um,
upset by it. I am a little upset by it because I think when I think of Super Easy A, it's supposed to be Super Saiyan 3 Goku, like the very first Easy A. I feel like could have gotten a lot more than just what he has, right? Like it could have been a way better Easy A. He's really
I mean,
good, but
he
it's
could have
just
been better, but we also should note that there's gonna be Super A's that they fumble, and that's gonna happen. Like they fumble with Easy A's, right? And that'll suck, right? 100%.
mhm.
But I am like I'm gonna set my expectations based on what I see for Super Saiyan 3 Goku here, and again, he's still good in difficult content. I mean, I took him in that Beast Gohan fight you're doing right now. He did wonderful.
Mhm.
I took him into the Cell Max fight. He did fine. And these are like the brand new 9th anniversary fights.
Right.
And you also consider, he's also he's a global character. And if we think about what's going on in global, um, we have the Fusion Zamasu fight where he does really well there. The Omega Shenron fight, he could look really nice there as well. So I like in terms of like being worried about Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I'm not disappointed with him at all. I think that he's pretty much what I expect him to be. I did put out my 2R's tier list today, and I had him at 2. I actually feel like he's better than S tier Super Vegeta. Um, I do like him quite a
Okay.
bit. I think for if I'm ranking him with the other like normal Easy A's, I think he's quite good. And I think when his like details, not his details, when his like gameplay and numbers first came out, people were like a little disappointed.
Mhm.
But again, it's a thing where you actually use the character, and then it's like, oh, what the character's good.
My issue didn't really lie in the character because, like I said, I do think he's really good, right? Like you're able to pop him into some of these teams and then like put him into the 9th anniversary events and he cooks. But I think the one issue I had was just like I expected more than what he had because this feels like a character because to me this character feels pretty similar to what the STR Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Fist Goku can do. Except he's doing more attacks and like he's probably gonna be a little bit better. I don't know if he's not better defensively. He performs about the same for me, right? Like I'm not gonna call Super Saiyan 3 Goku bad, the STR one, and I'm also not gonna call this AGL one bad. But I would have liked to be able to say Super Saiyan 3 Goku, AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku is a little bit better than, the regular one or the Dokkan Fest one.
You mean the new one? That's because that's like, again, that's being completely unrealistic.
Is it? I mean,
I don't know.
hold
There's
on.
no other way to say it. For the, I would not, like, could it happen? It could happen, but should we anticipate something like that to happen?
Okay.
Or no? Being disappointed in it you would only be disappointed if you had an anticipation that he would be that good. And that's where a thing where we do need to make sure we set our expectations, where if they just released a summonable Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Fist Goku, and we also have to consider, because he's such an old character, he's not gonna get some of these new mechanics. Like there is again the standby skill, there's
Of
the
course not. No,
target
no,
skill
no.
and everything like that, right? And because of that, especially now in this post 9th anniversary world, or really especially, these characters that are brand new are going to have these new busted mechanics because the game has evolved so much.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
expecting these characters that are easying to be like better than the summonable ones that came
Hold
out with
on.
these broken mechanics,
Hold on.
I don't know.
I'm about to get you right here. Okay, let's
Okay.
take it. Let's go back just a month ago. Okay, we got LR Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta and UI Goku's EZAs. Those are older characters that got EZAs, and they ended up being better than some of the 9th year characters that we've seen, like new releases, right? So I mean, I feel like it's not too
So,
far
again,
off to
That's
say
a different case.
that's a different
Those are
case because
yeah, those are
yeah,
LR
those are
Dokkan Fest anniversary EZAs.
exactly they're Dokkan Fest LR EZAs, which Dokkan Fest LR EZAs have usually been made to be
But
the same level.
I'm just saying that they're older characters that have outperformed some of the new characters that we've gotten, right? Like,
But
you know, in
looking,
the
again,
same celebration.
you're looking at it in a vacuum, right? I'm considering this guy as an EZA TUR, especially being the first Super EZA. We do need to make sure we set our expectations at least similar to what these EZA TURs are.
I think
Dokkan Fest LR EZAs are on a whole different level, and again, it comes to a point where those guys had revive mechanics that could be changed, which they did change those revive mechanics. And that's the revive mechanic that they have. They already had like a really good setup, especially Blue Evolution Vegeta. Their revive mechanics, that mechanic is still one of the best mechanics in the game. And even during the 9th anniversary, we see that. So especially then, that character being 3 years old, basically, right? It was 3 years ago is when they came out. Compared to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who came out in 2015. It a lot bigger of a difference, and because they had that mechanic already, and they weren't going to give Super Saiyan 3 Goku, like you said.
No, they were never going to give Super Saiyan 3. I never expected them to give him like,
well,
you know.
I'm just saying it's because of that. That's why I'm limiting my expectations.
I guess
that once
so, but
we get to these more modern characters, then we're more in talking of them being more on par. But even then, compared to other TURs, Super Saiyan 3 Goku is still pretty good.
I'd like to have seen some of the newer stuff that, like, some of the new things that were better for the meta that we have right now, right? Guard, damage reduction, right? That's what most of the really, really good characters have right now. Guard and damage reduction. Other than MUI Goku, who has like basically a 100% chance to dodge, it feels like most of the time. I don't think it'd be too much to ask them to give us, instead of maybe like 60% chance to dodge before we get hit, which really, I mean, am I putting Super Saiyan 3 Goku in slot 1 before anybody else in the 9th year anniversary? Probably not, right? Like, I feel like it would have been better to say, okay, give this guy guard, give him like maybe 20% damage reduction on top of that. Super Saiyan 3 Goku is cooking with what he's doing, right? Multiple super attacks that are hitting like very close to 20 million. Like, he would be he'd be insane. And that's not too far off of what they could have added, right? Like, I don't think that's unrealistic.
I agree with that. But again, in that situation, is me personally, at least, I wouldn't say that would make him better than Super Saiyan 3 Goku STR, or even like on his relative tier power. I would say all I would really like for this guy is, instead of the 30% like split dodges, just a flat 50% chance to dodge, or, you know, honestly, even just make it just 60% dodge, right? And I think that wouldn't have been like,
I don't even think that's enough anymore, though. I just really don't.
I disagree, because this guy's able to tank all normals in the game. So if he has 60% dodge, like, I'm fine with that. And maybe, let's say in 6 months, for this like whatever worldwide celebration, power group will come out, he won't be able to even take normal sometimes. Then it's like, in that hindsight, but this guy right now, he's tanking normal, so if he also had a 60% chance to dodge a super, then he's doing 14 mil plus attack stats for a 2015 unit. I mean, I'm not really having an issue with that.
Okay, but he's not a 2015 unit anymore. Truth has said
now
that.
He's a 2024 unit.
Yeah, exactly. Truth has said that, but like, it's not really. To me, if we're making that argument, it would be like Tech Gohan, right? Tech Gohan is what, 2020, 2021, around there. That's a situation where it's like, okay, Gohan being a 2020 unit, like being able to compete in some of the stuff that we have today, that's when I'm like impressed. But Super Saiyan 3 Goku getting his EZA, that's a 2024 character. Like, he's brand new.
Well, the thing is that you could see he's a 2020. He's a character from my brain did his work 2015, because he doesn't have some of these like newer mechanics that these busted characters do, which is why I think it's a fair point to say that this guy is a 2015 character. But yeah, you could also say he's a 2024 character, right? Because he is an EZA that happened in 2024. So I see both points. I see both viewpoints. I personally would consider it more closer, again, to labeling him as a 2015 character who got brought forward to being in 2024. And you could also see that because of the fact that, you know, they're not making him as overpowered as some of these newer 2024 releases, you know. And like in terms of T-Wars, we have this new Super Saiyan Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Goku is really good, Ruda Garden, right? Like, you know, these brand new releases, we see easy T-Wars. It's very rare that they're on that level. The only character in like one like STR Kappa is just so stupid, but like when's the last easy T-War that really was on that level? Age-O Zamasu and Future Gohan, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
That was a while ago. To be fair, they're spamming a lot of LR EZAs at us the past few months, but I think you kind of see my point where it's like we also got Tech Trunks, we also got Goku Black, you know, so that's why
But
the thing
yeah,
where we have to find the middle ground to be expecting for them.
Okay. Do you feel like EZA should have like a standard? Like there should be a standard that they should always go for when it comes to EZAs. Like they shouldn't really, like what are the like there should be a checklist, right? The Dokkan dev team should have a checklist of what EZA should have in the with the events that they push out, right?
I
Do you
mean,
think that
I
should be the
think
case?
that they should do what they say that they're planning to do, and what they say they like doing is they want to make some characters good in certain events, and that's it. Like where characters are focused to being good events, while other characters will be good in other types of events, right?
But people wouldn't like.
So
I feel like that. So that gets rid of the. I feel like that really limits what units are capable of, right? Like what Truth does, right? Like what does he do? He takes literally every character into every event in the game, and sometimes they underperform in some events, and that's fine. But like they're usually they're still able to beat those events. If we limit characters to like being good in only a handful of events and like really bad in others, like that's just not a fun way to play the game. I think that's just.
I mean, that's how they have been designing most units, besides like anniversary LRs, right? You know, that's what they've been doing for a while, and I personally don't necessarily mind that because again, it kind of makes the game a little more fun team building wise for me personally, where it's like, okay, well, okay, I can actually use this character in this event, and then in this event I'll use this character, right? Or it's like, you know, especially even down to typings, right? You know, like in this Gogeta Blue fight, I see you're doing it right there on the screen. I'm not gonna take like a lot of physical characters in here into this fight, right? So maybe I'll take some other AGL characters, like a stacking AGL character, like I don't know, maybe someone can get use out of AGL or Gohan in this fight, right? You know, and it's like, okay, someone can get a use about for him in this fight, maybe, but then in like some Max fight, you're not running AGL or Gohan, you know, as an example. So like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I like him in Cell Max, I like him in Beast Gohan, even sort of Trunks, but it's like in Blue Gogeta, I mean, yeah, he overall he's pretty good overall, but like in the Blue Gogeta fight, like his passive's gonna run out by the end of the fight, right? So you're not really gonna want to use him there, even though he's an EGL character, right? Especially with that tech phase. That tech phase is gonna like. I haven't taken him in there because I'm like, I don't see the point in taking him into a stage where I know he's gonna perform badly. I'd rather show him where he could be, right?
Okay. I won't say anything about that. I'll let that link.
Well, I mean, again, if you could say it's like it's good to show a character in every situation, even their bad situations, which I think that's fair as well if you want to do that. And I'm not like saying like we should ignore that the character is gonna be bad in those specific stages. I'm acknowledging it in the fact that like the characters are gonna have weaknesses nowadays, right? But yeah, again, I like him in Cell Max and sort of Trunks and Beast Gohan, right? I just like STR Super Vegeta. Like it gets to a point where it's like kind of dumb, where it's like, oh, dude, STR Super Gogeta, he sucks. He's not getting Gogeta. His 5-turn guard run out, right? And it's like, well, yeah, you know, he got me killed in Gogeta's fight, man. He sucks. It's like, well, he's designed to be guarding for the first 5 turns.
Right.
You know, so like, why would you even take him to that fight in the first place? Outside of a showcase situation, right? Where it's like, I want to show him off in that fight to show that he's not good there. I'm like, I guess if you want to do that, right?
Before we move on to the next topic, Halvard Beyond, do you have anything you want to say about Super EZAs? Like, are you disappointed in them? Do you like them? Do you like the direction they're going in?
I think their level of strength is appropriate for how easy they are to get. Well, we have to consider that they cost 150 coins. It's the devs know that they're going to be more easily accessible than summonable units.
Another thing is the stage is super fast and easy to clear as well.
Okay, but if we're gonna use that argument, let's look at some of the free-to-play characters that came out last year, like the Bulmas and like Yamcha and stuff like that. Those guys were pretty powerful on release, and they were literally free. Like they didn't cost anything. You could just grind them up, and they were pretty runnable.
Yeah, and Goku's pretty runnable.
Yeah, pretty runnable.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, I'm not dissing Goku. I think he's a really good unit. I just felt like in my head, with how they were describing Super Easy A's, I think I expected like something else than what they gave him. And for more content just like this, consider becoming a member, where you get access to the members-only Discord channels and exclusive content and private server content over there. Also, consider hitting the like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. And with that said, I appreciate you all, and have a great day.